Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive.
Always. What fascinating story are we uncovering today?
Today, we're going to talk about Liu Kang Lawrence Wee.
Uh, okay. Honestly, the name doesn't ring a bell.
Well, maybe not a household name, but trust me, he's made a big impact, especially when it comes to physics education.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
We're going to be looking at this website dedicated to Liu Kang and his accomplishments. Really shows how one person can make a difference.
I'm always up for a good, inspiring story.
And this one's all about open educational resources, too. So
Yeah.
get ready to be inspired.
Sounds promising.
Okay, so Liu Kang Lawrence Wee. Back in 2014, he won this really big award, the PS21 Distinguished Star Service Award.
I'm familiar with that one.
It's a huge deal in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
Recognizes public service that goes, like, above and beyond.
Okay, starting to see why we're talking about him.
Only 10 distinguished awards were given out that year,
Wow, out of how many total?
out of 133 awardees, and those are across all public services. So pretty selective, right?
Definitely sounds like it. So, who is this Liu Kang? What did he do to deserve such a high honor?
Right, so, well, he works at the Ministry of Education in Singapore.
Makes sense, given the education theme we're going with.
Yeah, but it's not just that. He's got this passion for open educational resources.
Okay, so that's where that comes in.
He designs open-source physics computer models and works on tracker video analysis and all sorts of physics education tools. But the best part is,
Don't keep me in suspense.
all of it's free, available to anyone, anywhere in the world.
That's incredible. Free resources for physics education, that's a game changer.
It is. And we'll get into some specific examples in a bit. But first, maybe give us a quick rundown of what open educational resources actually means.
You bet. Basically, picture a huge library.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
But instead of books, it's full of educational materials, textbooks, videos, simulations, everything you can think of. And it's all free. Anyone can use it, adapt it, share it.
Wow, that's amazing. A global library of learning, just like that.
Exactly. No barriers, no restrictions, just knowledge accessible to everyone. That's the whole idea behind OER.
So it's kind of like democratizing education, right?
You could say that. It's about making sure everyone has the opportunity to learn and grow.
And Liu Kang's right at the heart of this movement. He doesn't just create the resources, he goes above and beyond to help people use them.
Really? How so?
Well, there's this story about a principal from a school in Singapore, Hillgrove Secondary School.
Okay, what happened?
They were starting an aerospace program.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but they wanted some customized simulations, something to really get the students engaged with the concepts.
I bet that could get expensive. Custom-made educational materials aren't usually cheap.
Exactly. But Liu Kang being Liu Kang, he stepped up, created those simulations, completely free of charge.
No way. That's incredible.
And it gets better. He then conducted a 3-day workshop for 15 students at the school, taught them how to code a rocket model simulation.
Wow, that's serious dedication. Talk about going the extra mile.
Right. And it made a huge difference for those students. One of them said Liu Kang's simulations helped them finally grasp a physics concept that had always been confusing.
It's amazing how a different approach can just make something click.
Absolutely. Imagine being that student working side by side with the person who created the program you're using.
Yeah, that's gotta be a pretty unforgettable experience. I can definitely see how something like that could spark a lifelong love of learning.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the physics.
Hmm.
It's about that inspiration, showing what's possible when you combine passion with, like, open access to information.
Absolutely. And that really brings us to something else interesting about Liu Kang, his belief in the power of individual action. Like when they asked him, how do we encourage more people to go into public service?
Right. What did he say?
His answer was, find your why for public service. Find that purpose, that driving force, and you'll be empowered to go above and beyond, make a real, lasting impact.
I love that. Find your why. Makes you think, doesn't it? It's not just about doing a job, it's about connecting to something bigger. That resonates with everyone, I think, not just people in public service.
Totally agree. It's about purpose, meaning, finding that thing that lights you up and drives you forward. And for Liu Kang, that's clearly open education. And it's not like this was a one-off thing for him. He won the PS21 Star Service Award a few times before getting the Distinguished Award in 2014.
Oh, wow. So it's like a pattern of excellence.
Exactly. And he also received the MOE Excellent Service Award back in 2012. So his commitment to this work has been recognized for a while now.
It's not just the awards, though, right? It's the actual impact he's had. All those students and teachers whose lives he's touched.
Absolutely. You know, when I was prepping for our deep dive, I found this quote where Liu Kang talks about what motivates him.
Oh, what did he say?
He said, "Make the world a better place for everyone."
Wow, that's simple, but so profound.
Right. It speaks to a genuine desire to contribute to something larger than himself. He goes on to say he wants to create these engaging learning tools that are accessible to everyone, no matter where they are in the world. He sees open educational resources as a way to level the playing field, to give everyone a chance to learn and grow.
That's incredible. It goes back to what we were talking about, right? Democratizing knowledge, empowering individuals through education, no matter their background or resources.
Exactly. And his work is a perfect example of that vision in action. It's not just the simulations either. Liu Kang was really involved with something called the Tracker Video Analysis Tool.
Oh, what's that?
Well, it basically helps students analyze videos. Like, let's say there's a video of a ball rolling down a ramp.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Students can use Tracker to really dissect that motion, pull out data, and see the physics in action.
So it's like bridging the gap between theory and the real world.
Exactly. And it's super valuable for students to see that connection. And he even had this blog, which he later turned into a dedicated website, filled with physics applets and virtual labs for teachers to use. Talk about commitment to open access.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, so clearly his work had a big impact, and it's fantastic to see that recognized and celebrated.
Yeah, for sure. So to really understand the significance of this award he received, let's talk about the ceremony itself. Where did it take place?
It was at Gardens by the Bay.
Oh, wow. That's stunning.
Right, what a setting. And he got the award from Deputy Prime Minister Teo Chi-hin.
That must have been an amazing moment. What an honor. Did the Deputy Prime Minister talk about public service or open education during his speech?
He did. He talked a lot about the need for different organizations to work together, collaborate to address these big challenges we face. And he also emphasized being responsive to the needs of people and encouraging everyone to participate in developing and implementing programs.
It's funny, earlier you mentioned this idea of democratizing knowledge. Do you think that's why ODR is so revolutionary?
I think you're spot on. It's about shifting the power dynamic, you know? Who has access to knowledge and how it's shared? It challenges those traditional models of expensive textbooks and proprietary software. Liu Kang shows us that we can create these high-quality, engaging learning resources and make them available to everyone, anyone with an internet connection at least.
That makes sense, but isn't there a risk with that? With everything being freely available, how do we ensure quality?
That's a great question, and it's something the OER movement is very aware of. There are whole organizations dedicated to curating and reviewing these resources. Peer review and collaboration are huge in this community. And remember, Liu Kang's work has been recognized with multiple awards. That speaks volumes about the quality and impact of what he's created.
Good point. So it's not just about being free, it's about being excellent and free.
Exactly. Bringing it back to the ceremony, the website lists the names of the judges who chose Liu Kang for the distinguished award. There's also a photo of him with the Permanent Secretary of Education, and the Ministry of Education even broadcasted a message celebrating him and the other award winners.
Sounds like his achievement was really celebrated at every level.
It really was. And it reinforces this idea that one person can make a difference, that our individual actions can have a ripple effect and create positive change on a global scale.
Speaking of individual action, his work also highlights the importance of mentorship, guiding the next generation. Remember that 3-day workshop he did with those students at Hillgrove Secondary?
Oh, yeah.
That's the kind of experience that can shape a young person's path. Inspire them to carry the torch of open education forward.
Absolutely. He's not just creating resources, he's creating a community, sharing his expertise and passion with others who believe in this mission of open access to knowledge.
It's pretty amazing, right, to see how his dedication has touched so many lives?
Yeah, really makes you think.
It does.
Yeah.
Like, what if more people embraced this whole idea, this philosophy of open education, sharing knowledge freely? What kind of impact could we have then?
It's a powerful thought because it's easy to feel small, Like
Yeah.
one person can't really make a dent in these big global challenges.
Yeah, I get that.
But then you see a story like Liu Kang's, and it's like, whoa, okay, maybe we can make a difference. Individual actions, they can create a ripple effect,
Yeah.
lead to something bigger.
A ripple effect, I like that. Like that saying, a single spark can start a fire.
Exactly.
And Liu Kang's definitely sparked something, a passion for learning spreading out to all these students and educators all over the world.
It really highlights the power of knowledge, doesn't it? When it's open and accessible, it can transform lives, empower individuals and communities everywhere.
It makes you think, what about us? What about the listeners out there?
Yeah, what about them?
Liu Kang's story shows us you don't have to be some kind of superhero to have an impact. So what about you? What's one thing, one area where you feel passionate about making a difference?
Good question.
What's one small step, even, that you could take today to start making that happen?
That's the key, isn't it? Figuring out that first step, like we were talking about earlier, finding your why. What are you willing to put out there, to create, to share, to make things a little bit better?
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be this huge, complicated thing.
Nope, not at all. It could be tutoring a student, helping out at a local library, even just like sharing an interesting article with someone you think would appreciate it.
Right. All those little things, those actions, they can add up.
Absolutely. You never know what kind of spark you might ignite.
So true. It's like a chain reaction of good.
Mm,
Your small step today could ripple outwards, just like Liu Kang's work has.
that's the beauty of it. We all have the power to make a difference, and when we share that power, when we work together, support each other, amazing things can happen.
And that's what makes this whole deep dive so inspiring.
Yeah.
It reminds us that we can all be agents of change, no matter who we are, where we come from. Sometimes all it takes is that little spark of passion and the willingness to share what we know.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Liu Kang's story is a call to action for all of us. To find our own why, to embrace the power of open knowledge, and to step up and make a difference in whatever way we can.
Absolutely. Well, that wraps up our deep dive for today. We hope you found this exploration of Liu Kang Lawrence Wee's journey as inspiring as we did. And remember, keep learning, keep sharing, and keep making the world a better place. Until next time.